Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dale around Yak Spin. We have a fantastic show for you. Beetle Racing is here and in a big way. Teaser for the next Living World episode, and more loot box news, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow hosts. He is moderator over at MMO Champion and host of Zero to Hero and Vote to Kick on this very channel. It feels like we've been doing this for 10 years, but how will he feel when I inform him that this is for the rest of his life? Say hello to Jim.
Was that a threat?
No, no.
Hi, everybody.
All right, well, got 200 episodes. Woo!
4 years, 4 years of this. I didn't know, or a promise. Yes, Mac. That,
A little bit of both. Let's just. But yeah, and he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question: does he have another 200 in him? Say hello to Age.
Another 4 years of this? I guess. Depends on ArenaNet, actually. So,
4 more years. 4 more years.
I'm sure Diablo 3. Wow.
Wow.
This is now a Diablo podcast. So how about that mobile game?
So we're going to be doing a Diablo Immortal, like just nothing but Diablo Immortal podcast, right?
oh dear Lord.
Well, I was gonna make the joke of, well, Guild Wars 3 is going to be mobile. We all know that, right?
That's my only opinion on the matter.
Well, let us jump right into it. So we kind of talked about it last week. They teased us with the roller Beetle Racing, and everybody's kind of speculated that it was going to be across Tyria. Well, it definitely was. They added 5 permanent racing tracks in 5 different maps. They added to Brisbane Wildlands the Tropic Valley Raceway, Diessa Plateau the Ghostfire Run, Snowden Drifts, Jormag's Fang, and Gandarn Fields, Lakeside Loop, and Mount Maelstrom Infernal Loop. So
Just want to say I called it for Snowden. Go back to last week's show, and I'm like, I believe the exact quote was, I hope there's something in Snowden Drifts from the mean value alone. So, yeah.
Nice.
But honestly, I love the tracks. I haven't done Brisbane yet, so I can't comment on the branch.
It's actually, I have only done 3 of the raceways, and I think it's the hardest one. Just because it has those interesting turns. It does have straightaways, but
I don't know.
That branch, because the reason the branch is annoying is because if you're going super fast, it will not render until you're like 5 feet in front of it.
Yep. It's
you
the
have to
pop-in.
know where it is.
Yeah. It's Mount Maelstrom's is pretty interesting. I wouldn't know how I rank it so far,
It's
but
in the middle, I would say. Maybe second hardest.
it's more the going through the volcano, I think, is the hardest part of it.
The first half or the second half?
Pretty much the entire, like, as you drop down into the caldera or into the magma chamber and then hop over, and then after
that tunnel, it's not as bad, I found, but it's
90-degree turn that you have to hit.
that bit. Yeah, so I actually watched a bit of Droyer kind of just to see how he does it. So it seems like he does it super early so they can get the turn in.
Arlie reporting in remotely about somebody who was apparently made a cone character.
Nice.
I did not hear about that. But yeah, I was gonna say, what do you? So overall, are people liking the races? I mean,
Yes, fantastic addition to the game.
There's obviously some people who don't like it, but it's like it's content.
I was gonna say, are people still like saying how it's just too tough? Because this, like, we even said during Halloween when they had the Halloween one of how it was so, after they nerfed it, we felt it was kind of okay because it was such a limited time thing. So are these just as hard or even harder than the Halloween one? And
The thing is, the races are like, each race is like the event race is 10 minutes. I think you have to complete the race. There's plenty of time. The 5 tracks kind of rate from easy to hard. So Gindaren would be the easiest in my opinion, just because it's a lot of clear area and the paths are pretty easy, just as long as you know where you need to go. There's like one tricky turn, if anything. Um, and the hardest, in my opinion, is Brisbane Wildlands, just because there are a little bit harder turns at times, unless you find a way to like turn yourself in time. But they are fun, and for people who kind of like that challenge a little bit, they can go into the harder tracks and try to improve on their times. And for those of you who just like maybe want to enter the sweepstakes that the ArenaNet's having, they could just do the easy tracks because you just need to do one race per week to enter. So I really do like it. I do like the challenging effect because I had to actually rebind keys to actually drift properly because my current keyboard configuration doesn't allow it for it. And I've actually been learning how to use the Beetle properly, learning to drift, learning when to boost, all the fun stuff. And it's kind of like Mario Kart in the game for me. So it's a lot of fun.
And before they actually put in like power-ups to pick up.
well, I like how chat's saying that there are some people that are, you got the good and bad side. People that are acting like traffic cones to warn people, and the other people that are using tonics to turn into trees to trick people. So the internet takes all types of people, right?
And that's the one thing from Magnus is like this was a great way to get people into old maps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's all permanent, that's good. Like it's gonna stay. Though I don't know if the items are going to stay from the vendors. So
I was just gonna say, what speaking of that, what why should I play this? Like, why should I be enticed to hop in and try this? Is there any in-game stuff?
So right now, there is a month-long event, 4 weeks, where you can do races and you can complete achievements. And there is a daily achievement where you can earn race tokens, so you can turn those in for armor, which is the goggles, helm, and scarf. I think the scarf is exclusively from achievements.
The scarf, the regular scarf is just from just do the races once each. Complete the race once. The golden scarf is from getting gold on a track for all 5 tracks.
And nice.
The goggles and then the driving helmet, which is one of it's one of the common helm skins, but with the racing goggles attached to it. So
I find the racing goggles a lot better though. So
they look pretty cool.
Yeah, you also get tonics, and you can get guild hall decorations, so you can make your own racetracks.
I was just gonna say, I thought one of the guild hall decorations was kind of making your own racetracks, which that's what I was hoping to maybe see as like a continuation, like how I see chat saying they had fun doing them and learning them, but now that they got gold, there's not much reason to do them. Wish they would do some rewards if you improve your times, or I like the idea of maybe being in the top 10 daily, maybe giving yourself daily, when you do the dailies you get 3 gold, maybe you throw them another 3 gold for another
the thing that kind of confuses me though is they're treated like adventures, so you can get bronze, silver, gold chests once a day. So I'm going, and right now all they give you are the race tokens, and I'm wondering, are the race tokens going to go away and they're just going to give you generic rewards after this? Or are they going to give you no reward?
I feel like this is an actual event they can bring back annually. Honestly,
add more races to the game,
and yeah, exactly, available. Exactly. So I think it'd be interesting content for people.
I like the scarf. I would use it on at least a couple of my characters.
Yeah, and Kit brings up an interesting thing, that the scarf you can actually put on the trading post.
Which apparently some people are saying it's bugged currently, possibly.
You can't buy it. You can put it on
Okay.
the trading post. You can't purchase it from the trading post.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that seems like a mishap.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think the tokens are going away. I think maybe the vendor, if anything,
so
but
you can still kind of stock up or something. That'd be
it might work kind of like Super Adventure Box, where the vendors will be there. So if you want to redeem your tokens later, but the event won't be there, so you can't get more tokens type of deal.
no in chat saying they don't think the tokens are going away, but yeah, I agree with what Kit's saying. Like the goggle, honestly, when I saw the screenshot of the goggles and stuff, I thought they were just pulling assets from like the dry top ones. Like I was like, oh, they're just the dry top
The,
ones or something,
yeah,
real quick.
I actually there is a difference between the dry top ones and the racing ones. The racing ones look a bit more streamlined, but I do get that connection. I if I had to choose between two, I would much prefer the racing ones.
I think the other thing is, I think we were talking about this during Zero to Hero or Aaron's stream later on Wednesday night. I think Magnus was saying it's like it's nice to see the event in. There are going to be people who don't like it, like Magnus said in chat that they're not a particular fan of the races, and I get some people just don't like the way the Beetle controls, so they might not really enjoy playing it with the Beetle, but.
Yeah,
Honestly, like I'm happy to see the content in the game one way or the other.
yeah, because look at something like Super Adventure Box. Some people may not like platformers, period. So Super Adventure Box might not be fun for them, but it might be fun for you. So events like these kind of come and go. They may be for you, may not be for you. Maybe if you want the the easy things, you'll just do like the easy stuff and get it over with if you really want them. But it is kind of nice to see something a little different added to the game, kind of like this.
And
Uh,
I what I like is the nice thing they did was it's like, but I missed the living story, that had the Beetle. Well, actually, they said in their little teaser trailer that they put out, the Living World Episode 3, Long Live the Lich, which requires you to get the Beetle throughout it is free. So it's free from now until January 7th, 2019. You just simply have to log in, go to the upgrades tab, and purchase it for free. You can get your own roller Beetle, and that way you don't have to rent one. So you can rent these for the events if you so desire.
Just like all the seasonal races.
Okay. Well, at least that's nice. That maybe incentivizes the people that maybe just have the core game.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is really like I honestly find this really impressive because they're basically cutting into their profits with this. So.
I think it's actually part of their marketing budget, which kind of surprised me because that's a pretty big budget they have.
Well, it's also on top of the fact that with giving people more people access to the Beetle, gives them more of an opportunity to sell Beetle mount skins.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think, honestly, I think all of it was a pretty decent move, and it's good marketing as well.
Yeah, and you know how I saw chat saying before, it's like, all right, complete all the races. It's like you should still probably run them because, like Age kind of hinted at earlier, they not only brought in Beetle Racing, but in the trailer they talk about that they are doing a sweepstakes. So you enter by owning a Guild Wars 2 account and opting in on the contest page, and then you basically have to, over these next 4 weeks, you only have to, I believe, participate in one race to be entered per week.
Mm-hmm.
And each week has different things. So week 1, I believe, is from the 27th to the 3rd. You basically get a bunch of Razor products, it looks like. Mm-hmm. And as you're seeing the trailer, it'll show all the stuff. Week 2, from the 4th to the 10th, Alienware Aurora R7 PC and Alienware 25-inch gaming monitor. That's nice. Week 3, from the 11th to the 17th, home entertainment system with a 55-inch TV with soundbar. Week 4, from the 18th to the 25th, a trip to San Diego in the sand dunes, 4 days, 3 nights dune buggy adventure for you and a friend. And the grand prize is real life custom skinned type RBR car. And you need to do at least 1 race entry to be eligible for the grand prize. So
it's a Volkswagen Beetle. It's a new model Volkswagen Beetle. That's a pretty solid giveaway there.
though I do think this is only for NA, if I'm not mistaken.
The whole giveaway or just the car?
I think just the car.
Okay. I wasn't 100% sure.
I didn't read the
okay,
contest
yeah.
because I'm
It's
not
saying only
eligible.
NA can enter, though, for the car. So if you want the other stuff, you know, which, I mean, that's nothing to, I mean, that's still pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, Arlie and I were talking about you before vote to kick on Wednesday about the eligibility stuff.
Yeah, I'm used to it by now, but it's okay. I have my own PC setup that I'm happy with. And you know, I have good peripherals. I have a home entertainment system. Don't really want to go to Sand Dunes Adventure, not for me. And I can't drive, so.
Yeah, honestly, I looked at it. I'm like, I wouldn't mind week 1, week 2, or week 3 stuff. Week 4, I mean, stoop kid, don't leave a stoop. I mean, what am I gonna do with a trip to San Diego? Grand prize, yeah, you know, car's a car. I mean,
yeah,
I kind of want a Mitsubishi anyway.
Oh, jeez.
No offense. I'm just saying. That's my dream car, first car. I mean,
if you've got a plan, that's fine. And honestly, yeah, I'm surprised, Kit, that they didn't also drop a bunch of Beetle skins. Going back to that.
But, I will link the contest page in the chat, but also if you're watching this on YouTube, it's in there. You can read all the ins and outs of it. But like we said, it pretty much anyone. It seems like mostly anyone can enter week 1 through 4 stuff. The grand prize seems like it's only NA was the kind of shorthand of it.
Sand Dunes Adventure or 8K USD. It's a choice. Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
In that case,
yeah.
And before we see Driftmaster Deo,
yeah. I was gonna say I figured they usually do that kind of thing where it's like, you know, you can get like the value equivalent or whatever, but
it's pretty
so,
yeah.
I've
all of a sudden we're gonna see Dale Racing.
Who knows? He might like it. I think he has to go get the Beetle first, though.
No, I have the Beetle.
Okay.
I have the Beetle, dude.
And Kit, I've made my peace with the mount stuff, which I think we've got in Gem Store, so I'll save that until later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mount. I kind of agree that it's really a good time to drop some Beetle skins, but they do still have 4 weeks to do it, I guess.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't drop another epic skin, so to speak, because they've just got the armadillo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which I think they brought it back this week, or if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's possible.
I thought it was in the blog post, but I could be mistaken. But we'll definitely get to that with Gem Store stuff. But if you are watching this live, or if you're watching on YouTube, live people do stick around because, hey, you're talking about mount skins and stuff. Episode 200, we got stuff to give away, but it's not going to be during the show. For people on YouTube, it'll be a separate episode, so look out for that. Yeah.
You betrayed your secret to keeping it in the perfect fan. I just saw the clip.
It's the whole, like, there you go.
All right. Trying to run a show here. But yeah, so definitely we'll be giving another one of those away during after show, but also in the YouTube comments of that show. So definitely stick around for all that stuff. But shameless little plug for people to stick around, and you know, maybe you'll be able to go get a skin. But that's our marketing. That's our attempt at marketing, like ArenaNet. You just gotta download this app through this Tease store.
No.
No.
What? No? I didn't tell you
No.
about that, guys. No. Oh, okay.
Wait. Okay, sorry. I have to get in on this. I couldn't be the only one not fanning myself with something. I mean,
There you go. Hey, it works.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts on the roller beetle stuff in general?
I said this in pre-show. If you are racing or if you want to get a better experience in your racing, go to YouTube, search Initial D, Midnight Maxi Tune, play those playlists. You'll have a good time.
yep. If you want a specific one, running in the 90s, look that one up.
Or simply might work actually.
Awesome. Yeah. Maybe even if you have some suggestions of some good tunes to listen to while you're racing. But yeah, other stuff that dropped from the patch notes, which interestingly enough, this kind of dropped on Monday night. It seemed like they were so excited because usually came out Tuesday, at least NA time, of course. We usually see releases on Tuesdays, but yeah, they were so excited that I did it Monday night. So maybe
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But some of the other stuff that was in the patch notes besides the roller beetle stuff, as we talked about, rings and accessories can now be equipped directly to their second slot through a new right-click option. Nice quality of life.
That's helpful.
Yeah, a lot of balancing on sigils and rune sets. So, for example, like sigils of air, these will no longer stack when using combinations of minor, major, and superior sigils. I guess that because they had that kind of correction. I guess when they switched the system over, maybe it re-established itself.
They technically changed the mechanics of the proc.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because it was originally a 50% chance on crit, but the way internal cooldowns work, and it was basically always hitting. But then they made it a 100% proc on crit with a different timer, and I don't know, I guess with the different damage values, they were considered different skills, so they didn't go on the same cooldown.
Yeah. It's like, so if you put a major and a superior, they both can proc. So
Yep.
they just disabled that from happening. So it would just be one proc from one of them. Or the first one.
And some minor profession things. So in general, Frost Aura fixed a bug that caused this aura to reduce damage by 8% instead of its intended 10%. That's good. Ranger, looks like a little tooltip in the pet management panel, now displays information about each pet's special skill and beast mode archetype. So nice little quality life stuff. And also, making things work as intended. PvP players can now purchase Mistforged Glorious Heroes armor from the League armor vendor if they have unlocked the Ardent Glorious armor or the Glorious Heroes armor and have a PvP level of 100.
I don't have either of those things, so I can't tell you what it looks like.
Nor do I.
I think I have pieces of Ardent. Oh.
It's honestly, it's more the PvP level, because I think I'm only at 70 something. So
I was gonna say, H, your only hope. But any other thoughts or things you want to talk about in the pack notes?
Kit with the bomb.
Yeah. Oh, they just dropped this today?
This was posted November 29th.
Oh, I missed this.
Oh,
one.
wait, what? November 20. Oh, wait.
I got it.
On.
I got
Latest.
it. I'll put it in.
Okay. Well, I'm just confused with November 29th. Okay. Wow.
And Magnus, I'm assuming this is the stuff that is the legendary upgrade, or is it just like the shiny stuff that's just another skin level?
Okay, yeah, it has wings.
Are you going to throw this into the notes, Age?
Yeah, don't worry. I got it.
All right,
While
well,
Age does
we'll
that.
quickly talk about, and this is a little slight spoiler to the last episode. We're not going to put the spoiler tag since it has been quite some time. but for people that are maybe just
Hey, you just deleted it.
I was gonna say,
Thank
you know, plug your ears real quick. We're probably not going to talk too much about the episode in general, but it's just a nice little thing that people have noticed that with this new update, if you actually traveled to like one of the towns or something, you would actually receive a mail from what looks like Keith, and it actually just says, Commander, I apologize for delaying our conversation, but I wanted to respect the difficult emotions surrounding your experience in the mists. However, time is of the essence if we're to prepare for Arene and ourselves for the coming storm. Meet me at Sun's Refuge and we can discuss our next steps. Ooh.
Spooky.
So that's pretty ominous of...
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I still don't trust Keith.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I figured we'd just throw that out there to the people. And I think people said that this was definitely intended. So people were like, "Oh, this must be a bug, like of them putting things in, getting ready for the next episode." But
I mean, I was legitimately surprised when I got the mail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. But it does say like how we can discuss. Like it kind of has the wording of, it's not like come see me immediately. It's like, hey, I just want to let you. Yeah, I just want to let you know that I'm still here, type of thing. And so, yeah, it definitely seems like it was meant to be released on that, but. Oh, poor Keith. Yeah, Chad is saying Bobby Stein said it was intended, so. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was pretty sure I saw some people saying that it was definitely intended to be that way, but I know a lot of people were saying that it possibly wasn't, but yep. So, oh boy, looks like we're gonna get a little bit more Keith in the next living story stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Like it or not, Chad. Apparently Chad hates it. She's apparently the new Traherne.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Chad's not liking her.
Well, that's Mac. Mac doesn't like anything. I'm wrong about that, but honestly, I kind of like morally. I don't want to say Keith is morally gray, but like I like more ambiguous characters.
Uh-huh.
So it's nice to have the shades of gray in there, if only to prove to have more interest in what the heck's going on. So
I agree. And well, so we'll see how that pans out. That was the only thing that kind of really like surfaced from it. I mean, there wasn't like any new dialogue. People went to check. It didn't seem like any new dialogue or anything like that, but oh, you'll trade Keith for rocks any day.
I don't know. I don't mind rocks either. Just
okay. I'm glad I'm seeing everybody coming out of the woodwork here to defend Keith. Slight pun intended. But yeah. So hopefully we'll see that develop here soon. Probably not, since Winter's Day is kind of right around the corner.
And then we all get to, spend tons and tons and tons of time in Divinity's Reach farming presents.
Yeah. Probably a race or two. But yeah, and next up we actually have, thanks to Kit that actually showed us the one thing, the World Restructuring update. So on the forums they were saying, we are happy to let you know that progress has been good. We have overcome a few major snags and bugs, and this has put a few of our big goals in sight. And so a lot of people were basically asking questions, and they thankfully were answering them. So is there an update on the Alliance World Restructuring System? And they said yes. basically the post is that particular one. Basically, can NA and EU players join the same alliance and play World v World together? The answer was no. The NA and EU still will be split and have their own teams, while it technically will be possible for a guild or alliance to have members in both NA and EU. The system places those players on teams in their own data center. So that will, it seems like the region thing will still be a limitation, but servers will be meaningless within each region. People have asked, will I need to buy an expansion to get into an alliance? No. So that's awesome. That's going to be a core feature. People also came out and asked, what about non-World v World groups that use their shard to influence map instance selection outside of World v World? They replied back with, these players will be unaffected by this change. The system that chooses map instances does not consider shard. How does the alliance system fix anything if people still will be able to transfer? Currently, the plan is to change where we allow people to transfer and to be more responsive to transfer restrictions for teams that are overpopulated. Some of the details of how this will work are in the original post about world restructuring. Ask about time zone imbalance and if it will still be an issue. They basically say it is true that an initial release of world restructuring, we are not planning to consider time zone distribution when creating worlds. Part of that is so we can get the primary aspects of the system in and gather data about how the system works given the metrics we are using for the balance. So that makes sense. What's that chat saying? Basically, the big update is that now they are in bug fixing and testing phases, whereas before they were still designing stuff. Yeah, that definitely seems like they've really narrowed things down, it looks like.
Which is good. That was sort of the things, even though they told us what they were going to do, I was still worried about how long it was going to take, because this is a massive systems change. So even when they release this, there's going to be problems. I wouldn't be surprised to see bugs where people are randomly swapped teams, which generally speaking is probably one of the first things they check for, but no tests like live. I would expect to see that happen to at least a small subset of people when this goes live, along with a bunch of other stuff. I wonder if what is it? What did they call it when everyone was green to everybody in WW?
Green?
Yeah, everybody went friendly in WW. I remember somebody tweeted about it. It was like World Peace Day or something.
Oh yeah.
Amistad or
what's that?
Amistad? I don't know. That's usually the
well. It just happened. It was a bug in WW a year or two ago, and it just went green. So
that was fun.
I kind of expect that to happen too, but it'll just be nice to see this get implemented. It's great to hear that they're making progress on it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I can't wait to hear more about the system, like the ins and outs, because they really didn't go too much into detail about that, unfortunately. But I'm sure they want everything panned out before they can start talking about the details. Any other thoughts on the World v World restructuring update? Actually, yeah, World v World news. It's not much, but
it's there.
It's in the right direction.
Yeah, it seems like they need to just work on front end stuff, apparently, from what I read. So that's gonna be better. And once they have that done, they'll be able to show that. So probably sometime first half of next year, might be able to see something.
Yeah, that Neko does bring up a point. Well, we do have it in here of basically there was a post they did say in there that there is still a lot of work to be done. So it's not like it's coming, in January or something. It's still a ways away.
I would say first half they would have something to show off, maybe pictures, stuff. But it's nice to actually get an update on it, so that's good.
Yeah. And, maybe when they do have more details, it could be one of their forum chats. Speaking of ArenaNet forum chats, they are doing their November one. Currently, it is the ArenaNet. It's featuring the ArenaNet audio team, and so you can join in on the November AFC subforum to talk to the team about sound and music through December 3rd. So, I mean,
that'd be fun just in terms of from the music side, just understanding inspirations, things like that, backgrounds and all that stuff. And from the sound team, it's just always interesting to see that stuff.
I wish
in
these
a cardboard milk carton.
Yeah.
I wish these would be more coupled with like the guild chats, because I'd like to see them take some of these questions and maybe even go on to guild chat with it. And I've seen other devs do that, where like not to this extent, but being like, oh, you know, we're doing our dev live stream, submit questions on our forum, like leading up to it, but they could utilize this stuff for, because like as I'm reading it, it's like it just seems kind of like a on paper guild chat with the, you know, devs
On forum guild chat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like in this format they can answer a ton of questions rather than just guild chat.
Well,
where
that
they
they
answer
can,
a handful.
yeah, they can answer more and more in depth too, because there's no, well, there is a time limit technically, but it's like it's up for what, a month?
Well, I think it just came up this week, and
a few
it's up
days,
till the
pretty
3rd.
much.
Yeah.
It's a lot. There's a lot more leeway for them to answer stuff basically, as
Yeah.
opposed to on guild chat. So
So I mean, yeah, definitely check it out if you are interested in kind of hearing kind of behind the scenes stuff, and like Jim and Age are saying, it's more behind the scenes, more in depth. Especially if you're interested in that, you know, field, like kind of like what we always say with the guild chats, but like I said, like they were saying, it's definitely more in depth, and you can, you know, maybe learn something. And like I said, it's going on till December 3rd, so still plenty of time to get your question answered, but not too much time. But any other thoughts on the ArenaNet forum chat? Oh boy. Well, this is
on you, Dale. This is on you.
Yeah, it's somewhat Guild Wars 2 related in the sense of it will affect everyone, apparently. I'm sure people have known that the information that's been going around this week, that the FTC is investigating loot boxes. And for people who don't know, the FTC is the American Federal Trade Commission. So they're now investigating loot boxes and possible associations with gambling practices at the request of New Hampshire Senator Maggie Hassan. Hopefully I'm saying that right. She told Variety the attempts by the industry to self-regulate have not been enough, and again cited the UK report, basically that the need for the FTC's action to becomes more apparent given the recent report for the Gambling Commission of Great Britain and the steps other countries have taken to regulate loot boxes. Yeah, I agree. It is one of those things we kept saying in chat or in previous times where it's like, yeah, if the ESRB doesn't try to regulate it, the government's going to step in, and I don't think anybody wants that.
And they failed.
Can I rant?
Go ahead.
It's fun. All right. So now there was a good thing going for the gaming industry business-wise when it came to microtransactions of these loot boxes. It was a good thing going. Sure, gamers, didn't like it. Some people just like straight up didn't like it as well. But, it was a thing that was going. And then EA kind of had to just push that envelope a little bit too far. Explodes. And then people become more aware about this, including government. And the ESRB kind of didn't want to step in at first, but now it seems like they want to step in a little bit, because now the whole point of the ESRB was to regulate games so that the government didn't. And now government's coming in to regulate games in terms of the loot boxes themselves. So that's what happens. What happens when you push the envelope, and what happens when the ESRB doesn't step in to handle this case, which I think it should have.
For some reason, I just imagined while you were describing that of, basically think of the FTC as the Eye of Sauron.
Oh, and then like,
well, and the ring was passing around. No one was really putting it on. It was all fine. And then one person put it on, and the eye just goes, ah, ah.
EA put the ring on.
Yep.
Yeah. It was Battlefront 2. And it's not only kind of EA who's doing shady things. I know Activision kind of snuck in loot boxes in Call of Duty after launch, because typically the game sites don't do reviews, and they don't include the loot box thing because it's the initial review, and they don't really cover it afterwards. Some people do, but generally it kind of just slips under the radar for them. And apparently those are kind of shady boxes as well. So it's crazy. Anyway.
But also the Entertainment Software Association told Polygon that the loot boxes aren't gambling, as their contents have no real-world value, and they quote, "Loot boxes are one way that players can enhance the experience that video games offer. Contrary to assertions, loot boxes are not gambling. They can enhance the experience for those who choose to use them, but have no impact on those who do not."
God damn it, I could just hear Jim Sterling ranting in my head.
Well, see, that's the funny thing. It's like, as their contents have no real world value. I mean, I've always had this conversation. Well, I've had this conversation with so many people in the past of like, just if you think about it, say if the apocalypse happens and things go horrible, no technology works or anything like that. How is gold useful? I can't eat it. Like, how is that a valuable thing? Like, technically gold that we, trade and everything, things are based off of.
Also, the other thing is, like, just because you say it doesn't have real world value,
exactly,
doesn't stop people from selling their accounts.
Exactly.
Like,
that's kind of what I was getting at, was like,
just because it's against the terms of service doesn't mean it doesn't have real world value. However, this whole bit, how they have no impact for those who choose to not use loot boxes, let me direct you to Shadow of War, where they had to rebalance the game after removing the orc loot boxes. Mm-hmm. So the players who don't choose to use them don't have a choice for having them impact them.
Yeah.
The people who do not pay microtransactions, like anybody who doesn't pay microtransactions in Guild Wars 2, to bring it back to Guild Wars 2, they still exist in the game. Gems to gold still exists in the game. It still affects us. People's wallets still affect those who just never actually pay gems. They never give ArenaNet money other than buying the game.
Yeah. And then there are loot boxes which legit don't impact your experience in terms of leveling and all that things, whereas there are loot boxes that blatantly do that. Look at Overwatch. All they do is give skin sprays, that doesn't impact your performance on your game, right? It just makes you look good. But Guild Wars 2, there are skins, and there are small boosters, but like it's just to level up your reward tracks quicker. It's really, that's kind of negligible in my opinion. But there are straight up different loot boxes in different games that will give you straight up better, heroes or whatever system they call it, guns, weapons, all that things. And that's straight up advantage wise. It's honestly, small power creep.
EA with Battlefront 2 with the star cards, where it's like, hey, you have to open a loot box to get upgrades to your hero's abilities. If you spend an extra $200 at the start of the game, you are inherently better than everyone else around you who didn't spend that extra $200. So oh my God, Slint, don't. This is just, why are y'all doing this?
That was just a meme teapot at that point. But anyway, It's very frustrating when someone like loot boxes by themselves aren't terrible if they're done properly, and that is just giving, like, I know some people just don't like loot boxes flat out, right? They don't like the RNG aspect, and I totally understand that too. But if they put a cosmetic thing, it's not terrible. If they give out power, that's bad.
The problem is, though, is you say you don't have a problem with it, but they're not designed to target you.
Yeah.
Like, they are, this is the dolphin, whale, whatever stupid terminology companies want to use. This is designed to net a large amount of money from a small subset of players.
I whale. I used to whale Overwatch. Like, I've bought at least 500 boxes. But
is there like a video of like someone that, like, you know, like those charity like stream like drives and stuff where it cuts to someone going, I used to be a whale. Like, it's just like all black and white, like,
but the sad piano music playing.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, the only reason I bought boxes in Overwatch, I'm going to give this example, is because I really liked the game. I liked the direction it was going, and I wanted to support the game, you know? So that was fine for me. And
right.
I didn't buy boxes. Value. I didn't buy boxes because, like, I wanted this skin so badly. It's like, no.
Right. It's like, at the time, you didn't care what you got out of it. You were just buying it. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's like, how many views do unboxing videos get on YouTube? Right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody likes watching. Oh, click the button, watch the things explode, see the colors, get excited. Oh, wait, it's a duplicate legendary. Got to open the next one.
Yeah, and it's, well, for Guild Wars 2, I don't really buy Black Lion keys a lot, but I bought a lot this time around just for fun. Like, there's no gambling involved.
And Netco brings up a good point. You know, I don't like. They're saying that they don't like too much regulation of games. If they want, they can put a warning in this game, and that is the other thing. They're not saying you have to get rid of gambling necessarily. They're saying if you want gambling, you have to put it on as a mature, or I believe adult game.
Yeah,
like, which
the problem is that
no company wants to do that, though.
I don't know if gambling triggers an AO.
Yeah, I'm not sure of 100%.
Or if it's
it would
just
be at least
an M-rated game. But that's the problem. Even though the problem is, if you want to gamble, let me. That becomes a point of, are these companies willing to take the ethical and moral hit of being like, yeah, we just enabled a system that drained people of all of their money. They didn't want it to be like, there was, I think, Deo, you were telling me about this. There was a guy who started playing a game. I don't know if it was you or if I was hearing it. No, Jim Sterling got this report in. Somebody sent him a message about this. There was a guy who had a gambling problem, and he got over it by, I think, playing FIFA with his brother.
Wow.
And FIFA is an EA game, and we've all been hearing about what they've been doing with FIFA.
So, yeah.
And then they switched from FIFA to Call of Duty.
Oh, no.
And then Call of Duty started doing it. So it's one of those things.
So you blame that person. Apparently they're just moving, like,
it's just one of those things where it's like, yes, you can put the warnings in. Yes, you can, tell people they need to have more self-control, but, like, at the same time, the companies have to be willing to be labeled as having gambling in their games. They can't just slide around it saying it's not technically gambling. It's only not technically gambling because it doesn't legally say that it's gambling. It is actually gambling in concept.
Yeah, it's because, like, look at a casino. They only allow, what, 18 plus in?
Yep. You have to be a legal adult.
Yeah, and if you're a legal adult, you should have, like, the responsibilities you have, the consequences of losing X amount of money for yourself. You're giving games to people who are, like, in between, like, what, 8 to 16.
Well,
who just have, like, their parents' credit cards on hand at times. So that's the problem.
No, Aaron, we're talking about the FTC investigation that's starting. So that was just what.
Yeah, it
came
was
up.
an actual topic.
Yeah, it's in the show notes.
Yeah.
But the thing that's not mentioned here in the show notes is in that part of that UK report is that the gambling problem that they were looking into in the UK report identified minors as among a large increase of problem gamblers.
And I think that could be the thing that gets the FTC to act is they love to go, you know, it's for the children, save the children. Like that usually is one of those driving forces that will get people behind them to make the FTC to do something. So
yeah,
it does seem like this might be a dark day for the
I mean, hell,
games
look
industry.
At even Guild Wars 2, the Black Lion chest's opening, it's basically a roulette wheel.
Yeah.
Like it's basically a slot machine wheel showing you the stuff. It's like playing light, playing light, playing light, and it's just roll like spin again.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have keys. Do you want to click this one button to immediately go to a purchase setup for more keys? Do you immediately want to go to a site to a part of the gem store that lets you purchase more boxes?
And this is kind of what we don't want. It's kind of like ESRB again, where gamers don't want government involved. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it seems like it's like we're winning. No, this is not good in any situation for us or developers. The game industry side. Like,
I'm not going to paint with a broad brush here and say most lawmakers don't play video games, because I'm sure there are people in politics that make laws that also play video games, but it strikes me that a majority of them probably don't. So what we're going to see here is people who don't understand the culture and the ecosystem making regulations for it.
Yeah.
So
it's basically going to limit access to games that, probably people who are teenagers could potentially play, but just the gambling part of it makes it mature or, 18 plus, whatever. And that's kind of the problem. It limits things. And then the game companies are losing money on that. So they have to find another avenue to gain revenue. As we all know, game companies are kind of being forced to gain more revenue every year. So
you're not growing, you're dying. Well, remember, Battlefield 5 was a failed launch.
Yeah. Well, wasn't the second Tomb Raider a failure, even though it sold
the
more
first
than
Tomb Raider was described as a failure, even though it made back double its development cost.
Call of Duty was a failure too. It was like, and this is going to be a problem that's just going to get worse because
critical mass on this basically.
Because now these game companies are going to try to find different angles to monetize things in the game.
Honestly, the thing that pissed me off, the first thing about this monetization issue that pissed me off the most is the last Prince of Persia game, the one that was like the cell shading bit, is you get to a massive pivotal moment in the story, and you're walking out of this temple holding someone as the temple is falling apart, and the credits start rolling. By the way, it needs to be DLC. By the way, that DLC never released on PC.
Nice.
It was never ported to PC. I have never played it. I've never reinstalled the game because it just pissed me off so much. It was like another hour of gameplay that they just kind of pulled off the back end of it.
I guess my question would be, what if they developed a system where it was like, the loot box, of course, has random stuff like skins or whatnot, but you could pay more to get the guaranteed item that you would want. But if you wanted to pay a lesser value,
so like what the mounted option license thing, basically.
You just did that for him,
What are you talking about?
I know. I'm trying to lead into this. I'm just going straight to the point.
Okay.
But I don't like that either. The MAAD adoption license system, I kind of get what they're going for, but I just don't like it. And that's me. I know other people may like it. It's fine. But
Time to finish the segue, Deo. It's just hanging open right here. So just
Well,
speaking
I
of
mean,
mount adoption license.
well, I was gonna say, we do have that like system. They've added it in as like after the whole mount gate debacle, and we do actually have some new mount skins. And always thank you to Dolphy.net. Check out Dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. And these are the Distant Lands mount adoption licenses. And when you buy these, it is 400 gems each for a random option. So as you're seeing these you spend 400 gems, you can get one of these unlocked as a skin. And remember, it's a skin, so it doesn't unlock the mount or anything like that. It's just purely cosmetic. But you could also pay 1,200 gems to select one of these. So you will have the choice to select one of them.
That's brutal. I still I understand. I understand, but it's just so it doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at these, and I actually think they backed up a step from the last set of mounts. Like I said.
Oh, really?
I think the last set of mounts were approaching being worth like choosing one for 1,200 gems.
Mm-hmm.
These ones I'm looking through and scrolling through. I
like that one. That one's pretty good.
The Exalted one. Yeah, the Exalted Jackal looks pretty cool, but I think that's probably so far the only one that's approaching 1,200.
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000. Like that's... 1,200 to choose, I don't think is a great price. I think 800 to 1,000 would have been a better price point for that.
Yeah, I mean, if I know they have the metrics, so people are buying them. So it seems they'll continue to do it if it works.
Well,
right?
That's the problem. Like I was saying earlier, this is not aimed at us. This isn't aimed to the frugal people. So I've bought 2 epic mounts so far.
I've bought 1 mount pack on sale and 1 epic.
Actually, no, I also bought one of the mount packs. I've bought the Grand Lion Griffin skin. I bought the Shrine Guardian for Krista, and I bought the Techno mount pack. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I bought the Techno mount pack because it was on sale, and I liked that price for it. And I bought the Shrine Guardian Jackal because I'm not gonna not buy that.
Yeah, but it's just I think that honestly they're too varied in what they do to the base skin. I keep bringing it back to the League of Legends tiers for skins.
Mm-hmm.
They need to implement a tiering system, and I guarantee they would probably get more buys out of it.
I would just love an achievement for just put in an achievement for one of just a skin.
The one thing I was talking about is when you finish the mastery track for the mount, you get a collection achievement, and then you get like a master or an armored set.
Yeah.
For a mount, it's just one skin in game.
Yeah.
You know, because it gets you into the skin swap menu, and then you see all the other ones, and it's like, look, I'm helping with marketing, so I don't know.
Even if it was, I think it'd be a great idea, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of the glider. I don't know if it's because of the glider system, or that they decided against it, or maybe they figured they can actually gain more revenue by doing it this way. But
anything that's randomized will get them more revenue, and then if somebody picks one, they get the revenue of 3 as opposed to 1. So
I mean, maybe if you show up live during the after show, you could get some gems to get some.
You've
or
just
if
been
you're watching on
to
YouTube,
insert that the whole time, haven't you?
No. Or on the YouTube video, but stick around for that. We'll definitely tell you all this stuff. But anyway, I kind of agree with like Chad. I'm not like too thrilled by most of these. I mean, like some of the other previous sets have been a lot better, and luckily I see Chad one got the star collar themed raptor at a 40% discount. So nice.
I mean, at least the glider skins that come out are still using the pricing model that they had all through Heart of Thorns.
Yeah. The chair one is
Yeah, they goddamn monetized sitting. I mean,
Well, just sitting in style.
they took code for having our characters sit and sold us things to let us sit on.
I kind of wish the different poses you can press like 1 to 0 for, because some of the poses that depending on the race and gender that you're on, it looks better, in my opinion. But yeah. Oh well, personal opinion.
Let's see what chat means about the snow stalker kind of looking like the most Norn griffin type thing.
Was that the white owl looking one?
Yeah, the owl looking one. You just have chair envy.
I think I sat once in the game so far, and it was on one of the chairs that was in the Heart of the Mists, and that was like the day after the release for Zero to Hero. I'm like, oh, hey, I can sit now, and I've never done it again.
I've sat in my jump store chair like 2 times.
Honestly, that's the worrying thing. Like Chad is saying that that's why Guild Wars 2 is doing better than ever. These mounts really have stabilized revenue. I think it has definitely stabilized it.
Yeah.
It is definitely that thing of like kind of at what cost and what's going to happen. I mean,
I'm not like saying this is like a bad thing for me. This is actually really good for them. They're actually understand their audience when it comes to the gem store in terms of gaining revenue. It's just that, just like Malthana said, like for the people who buy things in the gem store or spend a lot in the gem store, they know how to market it to them.
It's not that they're selling it. I remember when we talked about mounts, we were waiting for mount skins.
Oh yeah, we were all like, when is it going to come?
Skins. It's how they're selling mount skins.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the 2K mounts. I don't. It's just the rest of it where it's either pay triple the price or get one at random. And you can still get random ones that you don't own.
I mean, I wouldn't care about the 2K mounts either, especially if you're watching and you could win one of the cards.
Oh my god, every time I bring those up, you're going to fan.
It's like we space it out evenly, yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's not how, or it's not that it's happening, it's how it's happening. And that's been my biggest gripe for like the standard mount skins the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh yeah, I definitely remember how far we were off of pricing. Like I still hold by it that I feel like they should have been right around, gliders. Yeah.
I mean, I would say
800 to 10 to 1,000.
For some of the ones that were just basically here are 4 die channels, I'd say 600.
That's fair.
And then you start, I keep bringing up the League of Legends tiering system is recolor, which they completely changed that system to just chromas, because a lot of the original League skins were just, here is a palette swap for a character.
I'm not buying into chromas.
Yeah, neither. I think I ended up getting something for free. I can't remember. The recolors, which would be for us, would be here are 4 die channels as opposed to the 1 die channel for the mount. Then you've got model changes, particle effects, both. And then I think if you have special, more particles or sound changes, stuff like that, those are your tiers that you work off of. So it's I talk about the rank system and the rewards of the rank system and how it's a solved problem, and they just kind of keep missing the mark. It's like the monetization thing for these skins. It's a solved problem. Other games have already done this.
Yeah.
And there are other, League of Legends has loot boxes, has direct buy. They have both of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's a solved problem. Yeah, sure, you take the system, you tweak it a little bit to work for your game, but it's out there. So
Would you prefer if Guild Wars 2 had a loot box? Well, let's say Black Lion chest, but a direct to buy as well. Let's say for the desert chair that they have in the.
That's a bad example because I'd never buy it.
Well, if you were to buy it, like if let's say no, not even if you were to buy it.
They've done it a couple of times where it would be in the chest, but they also brought it out as like you could just like they did it once or twice, like very rarely. But I mean, I think in the past
we prefer that method. Would you prefer it would be if they put it in the Black Lion chest and like it's a rare, but they put it in the gem store for like a lot of gems? Would you prefer that method?
It would depend.
What do you mean
on
by
the
a
price.
lot of gems?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Is the pricing is variable. It's one of those things where it's like a lot of these mount skins I wouldn't pay more than 800 gems for. But
but I feel like pricing is subjective to each and every person because a person might. Like,
if there was a direct buy for stuff that ended up in the Black Lion chest, yeah, because then it's the trade-off of I can either spend 125 gems for 5 shots at getting this thing, or just spend 600 gems and just get it.
It kind of goes back to what Chad was saying before. If I want to gamble, let me gamble.
Right.
If that's how you want to play your game, cool,
but
great. Especially because it's not, especially because it's cosmetic. It's not, buying power or anything like that. But if I don't want to gamble for it,
I'll pay the premium for it.
Yeah, let me pay a little bit more, not 3 times, 4 times the amount. That would be getting ridiculous. But
I think they've done that for like the 2K gem mounts, because I remember that for the shrine.
They do end up in the Black Lion chest every so often. Yes.
Okay.
And it was like, I'm pretty sure the Shrine Guardian has been one that's been in the chest. I think the Roller Beetle mount ended up in there at least one rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's the problem, Lemon. They don't want to sell power. And yes, I know 1% XP is not something, but can you imagine the outcry from the fan base is like you're selling power in the Black Lion chest?
Well, what would be hilarious is, like they said, if the chairs, which they don't, if someone's listening, they don't do this. If the chairs give you some kind of buff, like 1% experience, but it requires you to be sitting, as soon as you get up, it takes it off.
Oh my God.
So there's actually no way you could benefit from it.
You have to wait, no, because they're non-combat items. If you get into combat, you stand back up.
Exactly. So it would turn the buff off. That's why it would be great.
Gosh. That would be the trolliest thing. That would be
there you go, Arena. There's an April Fool's joke for you.
Make it something dumb like plus 1,000% XP.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
It's just like, oh yes, only out of combat.
Yeah.
Cannot use skills. It's like and that's the thing is like I talk all this shit like I don't like I like their art. Like I like the stuff they put in the game. It looks good. I would pay gems for this stuff. But the pricing is off.
Yeah, the pricing is off for myself as well.
What it is doesn't bother me. It's how I try to get it that bothers me. So
yeah.
And then again, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not the person that's being marketed to. I'm not the person who's going to just spontaneously spend the money. So, but that's enough of that rant for now. So I'm gonna.
But like we said earlier, they brought back the Living Stories episode that you can get the Beetle mount. Maybe you're trying to look and maybe go after some of these skins, but maybe you don't want to spend the money. It's tough. At least they have a system where you can trade gold to gems. Well, if you are maybe a new player, our first topic in the community corner might help you out as a new player. So from Games Love and Life, who we've talked about in the past, she has made a low-level gold guide, and this is episode 5 for Wayfarer Foothills. Awesome zone. Norn people rejoice. Good spot. But she kind of breaks it down. It's a good place for starting players. She, I think, stated at the beginning of it, it was about 1 gold per hour, which I know for people that farm silver waste and all that stuff, like I said, this is definitely for beginning players. She actually breaks it down for people between 1 and 4 where to go, 5 to 8 where to go, 9 to 11 where to go, and 12 to 15 kind of where to go. But like I said, yeah, if you're gung-ho about trying to maybe just get a little bit of pocket change, or even going after maybe some of these mount skins, and I'll throw the link in chat, and always on YouTube, just search the link in the description. But yeah, it's definitely a nice little quick video, and I think she even has timestamps for even levels, so if you want to jump quickly, feel free to. But the nice thing about Guild Wars 2 is even if you're at 12-15, while you're waiting for diminishing returns, you can pop down to the 9 to 11 area if you so desired. But yeah, definitely check that out. Hey, you just earned all that gold. You need to go show off that new Beetle Racing skin, right? What better way to do that at the Beetle Race Extravaganza tournament? It is hosted by Deror and Boots, aka World of Enders. That will be happening Sunday, December 2nd at 5 p.m.
Central Eastern time.
Central Eastern? Okay. That's what I thought it was. Central Eastern time. And that is actually only for EU, just so you know. But like I said, that is going to be tomorrow. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be today. Definitely to watch it. But it has multiple grand gem prizes. But yeah, it's nice. Nice little kind of fan created tournament type thing, or community created tournament.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Apparently, Boots, if you haven't heard of Boots, he actually does a lot of bad build stuff, but he's been doing a lot of racing lately, and he has.
Excuse me, they're all amazing builds.
I put air quotes, but he has been recently doing the races, and I believe he is top 10 in every single race in NA except one, which he is in 11th from last I checked. So yeah, he's pretty good at the Beetle Racing.
Zekriox, Mario Kart music, also very good for this. Good pick.
And I feel you, Zekriox. I am an NA player as well, so hopefully, maybe they'll carry that over to NA. I mean,
that'll be.
But yeah, for this one, it's just EU. So,
well, maybe they'll do another one if this one goes over really well.
Yeah.
So,
I do want to kind of give a quick reminder. We've been talking about it in the previous weeks, and I believe Kit's still in the chat here, but Kit's legendary contest, it did close actually today if you're watching this live, but I believe the drawing is December 24th. So I hope everybody, we tried warning everybody every week, so hopefully you got your entries in for her legendary giveaway, which was what, 4? You had 4 opportunities. You could enter all 4 different times, which was her Twitter, her Twitch, her website,
Forums, I think.
Forums and
website, yeah. I think.
Now I'm messing it up because we actually deleted it, but I just
go to her reminder in red.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, just go there, and December 24th will be drawing. You can enter all 4 times, but you can only win once. But like I said, that already closed. So if you haven't been listening to us, what have you been doing? But yeah, so good luck to everybody that has entered. Maybe you'll get one of the sweet legendaries. But
Age, you're not allowed to get help on your journey.
I know.
Last up, we have the Guild Mag Annual, another friendly little reminder here. This is also, well, this is very close to ending. It once again, we've told you in previous weeks, it is a community magazine done by Guild Mag. I know they recently brought back the podcast. I know they did an episode kind of during their big stream for supporting this. I don't know if they're bringing it back on a regular basis or not. It sounded like they were, but you know, they do news articles and stuff like that. But it also has people from the community in general. I believe, you know, like people like Mighty Teapot, loads of people, great artwork, as you can see. Just kind of showing off previous years. You can get the physical edition. Like I said, you can place the order, and I'll throw it in chat real quick. Like I said, up till December 4th, so time is ticking. If you are watching this live, it is the 1st.
Flip to his own article in there.
I could.
Here, I can give you the. Whoop, there's.
I was trying not to.
Trying to show off.
Show off myself.
I need to place my order. I have to pay bills first this week, but I should be able to grab it.
But yeah, so definitely high quality. Like I've said in the past, it definitely looked like, from the looks of it and the sounds, like the paper quality, it's better than, like, if you're thinking of just like a magazine in general, this is better quality than magazines you'd see on a shelf, like a, you know, in a newsstand or whatnot. Yeah. But this is actually the pre-orders. They're doing it at cost, and I believe an additional $5 is actually going towards supporting World Child Cancer, so that charity. So basically, they're not making any money off this, and don't think you're gonna be later being like, oh, I'll pick it up later or something. They're basically making as many copies as they get pre-orders for, maybe a couple more, but don't rely on that. If you are interested just in the content, they are going to release the digital version at a later date. But like I said, if you want a high quality thing, great artwork in it, definitely make sure to pick it up. Like I said, it is ending December 4th. Any other thoughts on Community Corner?
As usual, great stuff from the community, and y'all the real MVPs.
Yeah, good stuff.
And that looks like it is it for this week. Ooh, episode 200! Woo! And
Nice.
I will say this right now: if you're watching live, do stick around. We do the after show stuff, but we are also going to be giving away stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, we will be combining like we did for episode 100, the pre-show and after show, so you can kind of see that thing. That is where we'll do giveaways for YouTube on that video. It'll be a separate video that hopefully will be coming out later that Sunday, maybe even Monday, but keep an eye out for that. We'll make it pretty obvious that that's the video for the giveaway kind of stuff. But this one, we just purely can keep it news and all that fun stuff. But yeah, we'll get more into that during after show and on that other video. So, Malthanis, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanisMMO. You can find me. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MAADrealms. That's 2 A's in the MAAD, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Vote to Kick, where we talk about various things in the gaming industry, where we keep and vote to keep or kick them. I've got Guild Wars Monk, aka Aaron, slotted for this Wednesday. We're going to be talking about some PvP stuff, and he has thoughts.
Oh God, I'm watching.
To quote his response to the Twitter message. He has thoughts, so should be a good show. And then afterwards, we've got more ranked PvP stuff going on. So come hang out on Wednesday.
Awesome. Looks like it's going to be a pure PvP night. That was awesome. And Age, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at HNightRoad. I streamed just a little bit of Beetle Racing this week. I didn't do too much. I probably stream tomorrow because I actually got sleep this week. So
Gasp.
I'll be good. I don't have overtime anymore. So
Hey.
You get to exist.
I'll be trying to get back to regular streaming. We'll probably do 2 or 3 nights a week and see how it goes from there.
Awesome. It seems so hot. Yeah, it's so
Oh
hot.
my god, the both of you stop it.
But yeah, you can find me at simply_Dale on Twitch and Twitter. And yeah, this past week I was sick for most of it, and then leading up to all this stuff and getting everything kind of in order. So haven't had too much time to stream. Hopefully we'll get back to doing some of that. But yeah, if you are tuning at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of an after show. Also, a nice little thing. We all, like I said, we're doing that pre-show, after show bonus episode thing of where the contest will be. But we also have another bonus episode of just kind of the founders. So it was myself, Jim, Aaron, who is currently in chat, but also Royby, the 4 people that originally started the show way early on, back in episode 1, and we just kind of talk about things. We asked for questions. We kind of answered things.
Some of the questions.
But yeah, we'll try to throw that up on Wednesday, so look out for that, and let us know if you like more of those things, because that was definitely fun to do. So I can't wait for people to watch that and probably say that it's the worst thing they've ever seen.
Mad Realms After Dark, because there were some beverages involved.
Yeah. But anyway, if you are popping at the very end, do stick around. We're doing a bit of an after show. It will be having giveaways since this is an episode 200 celebration. So definitely stick around for that. Like I said, you'll see this stuff on YouTube. We put this up on YouTube Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Just search youtube.com/Mad Realms, 2 A's in the Mad. And if you want to make it out to the live show sometime, that is twitch.tv/Mad Realms, 2 A's in the Mad. And that starts Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. But, this is a lot of stuff to keep up with. If you just want to do it in one nice little easy area, go to madrealms.com, 2 A's in the Mad. And that's where we kind of post the stuff up, the videos for Vote to Kick, Talking Skritt, any new shows that we want to do in the future. And those usually go up right when the YouTube one will go up as well, but it's nice one little area, and that is where you can actually get the audio versions of the Talking Skritt episodes, which I know a lot of people have always been asking for, so we have tried to accommodate. But yeah, make sure to look out for all those videos coming this week, including Vote to Kick as well. This standard stuff that we are now doing every week. And that looks like that is it for this week. Thank you everybody for coming out, and here's to another 200.
Yay.